So, insane story. Day before this, I got second place with this Puppy Pal deck, and as I was editing a video for it, I casually entered another tourney, missed my round one entirely, and then went completely undefeated. Crazy work, amazing stuff. This deck is completely unchanged from my first go around, from the original build, only removing Sabrina and Cyrus, opting for two Magbies instead for early game rush, and I solely focused on racking a ton of damage every single turn I was able to attack. Really, just nothing complex, just very speedy, putting down Puppy Girl as soon as I can. But this is going to be the first game of top 4, I believe, in the first tourney that I went to. I already have an amazing lead right there, having the Magby, and I have some puppies in hand. I just like to hold on to it in case of whatever I do draw. So we're just going to match the Puppy Loving Girl. We draw 2 cards from it right away. I'm going to put down both Growliths. I put down both Growliths because fire is kind of the key way to win here. And we're also pretty beefy on top of everything. We're able to take some hits. We're able to kind of just push a little bit harder with it because it just has more HP. And as I was saying at the beginning of the video, we're really just rushing, not many complex lines. There are sometimes we have to like swap out into going to Magby, but nothing really crazy. So we're gonna draw 2. We're actually gonna get the Yamper, and we already have the generator. Gonna flip for it, and we do get it. So now that I see that I'm ahead in energy, I'm just gonna go right in away, smacking in for 140. And the reason why you want to go in here like super duper soon is because you want to beat out their rare candy plays. So if they don't have rare candy, then you can just continuously go. Like if you don't see the full evolution, you might as well go early, then give them time to draw extra things. I know we don't have that full 160 damage for Infernape, but you definitely want to keep just rushing and really pick the right times to send your puppies out from, Magby into puppies. Because if you do figure that out, then you know exactly the right points to trade points and the right points to just win the game a lot easier. As like straightforward as that sounds. So they're going to draw 2, and I don't think they actually find the evolution here. They only got to Monferno. Put the second energy down. Oh, actually they do. Okay. I was confusing this with a different game, I guess. So Flare Blitz coming out. They discard all energies. We're going to go into the Magby. They did only get 1 point on me. This should be 160 damage. Keep in mind, I don't have Sabrina or Cyrus. Those could have gone pretty hard here. But we still have a lot of offense. We have a lot of energies on board. They have to find a flame patch or just end it all. What goes on here? They retreat into the Cyndaquil. Do they have Typhlosion? They get Juliana into the evolution. That's 140 HP, and we are already hitting them for 140. So now we're looking for. Wait, no, we hit for 160 last turn, so this is the free 140. We're just gonna do that just cause, especially playing in the heat of the moment, I literally forget like numbers. You have to constantly count these puppies. Just a different type of math, So we're gonna skip onto this game 2. I didn't record it right away, but we have another game where we have generator turn 1. So just knowing that I'm ahead in energy, I'm gonna attach to front and center. There's no reason to hide energies because I already know that I can start swinging and I'll have an energy advantage to keep swinging even more into the late game. So they're just going to do a basic hit on me. A little bit weird because they're going to waste the energy. We draw into Fido. We're going to place down Fido. We're going to attack for 120 on turn 3 already. Nasty stuff. Nasty deck. And I think they might attempt to go for the KO here because there is a shot. There is definitely a shot. So that's gonna be 30, and that's it. So I think they're kind of donezo here. We have the puppy loving girl. Gonna draw 2 cards from this, attaching an energy to the back. That's gonna be 140 onto the Furfrou. That should be game. There's really nothing they can do here because that's a lot of damage. Yeah, Flame Patch, sure. Okay, Typhlosion. But we already hit for... How much did we hit for last time? I literally don't remember, but we draw into Magby, and that should be 140 on the dot again. Amazing, amazing. So that's going to be the first set going to us. This is going to be grand finals of the first tourney that I entered. We're going to go into Fido, and that's a nice thing about this build specifically, is that Fido also acts as a Magby sort of, so it can be a wall, and like a tiny wall, and it also has the zero retreat. So we're abusing the zero retreat here and just waiting on Magby so that we can have a free energy and just be up more energies than our opponent. So this deck is pretty tough in this format. Did get banned kind of right away. It's Serenity format for anybody that was curious onto like what this is, like if you're enjoying the decks that you're seeing. I know like kind of Greninja everywhere, but Greninja's a great card. But yeah, we're gonna have that free retreat like I was talking about. We're gonna have 2 energies on them, so we're already very much so up. They did get that copycat though, so they do have a lot of energy on the board for themselves. They're gonna do it again. They're just gonna do it again, and they do get a free KO here if they wanted. They're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna come in with Growlithe or Fido. Fido just to decide, I guess. I draw into another Fido. I think I'm thinking about if I should place something else down. But I guess I am, just to have something on the board. They already did use both copycats, so it really didn't matter all too much. They do have their cast form that they sent out. They're going to start racking up energies in the back, using that flame patch in the front, doing 20 damage. Wait, only 30 damage. Only 30 damage because they don't have that extra bit with the hiking trail. So we're just going to swap out. We're going to swap out here and just attack because we don't want to insta blow up with Incineroar. And that was actually a big mistake of me. That is like the huge problem that I like noted, that I went into that and I was expecting Flame Patch to work. So I was like, alright, I completely messed up there. That's my fault. Kind of just burned out towards the end. Very long tourneys. I ended up going 8-1. So those kind of things just happen. We try our best to not make any mistakes, but you know, we're only human. We make mistakes regardless. They're gonna put down the hiking trail and the copycat, so they should be up. Yeah, they get +3 total. So yeah, that was a big mistake, and I do make another mistake here. And you know, the biggest takeaway from all of this is that you can always learn from your mistakes. So even if you do mess up, just go back at it again, you know? And that's absolutely what I did here. So we're gonna have the Magby. Magby's probably gonna get one shot. Might have a kind of repeat of last game, but they do have Juliana. Juliana right away, ensuring some kind of evolution. They're gonna do 30 damage to me. At least we're up in energy, so this should be great. And this right here was the mistake. This was the huge mistake that I was talking about. I went into Fido instead of going into another Mon, so I could have just abused drawing more cards. I could have looked for more damage. More damage with more puppies. That's kind of where I failed in all of this. But hindsight, you know, wasn't really paying attention to the numbers all too much. Gonna get that heads. draw 1 card. So this is looking pretty great for me. It really does look great for me on paper. That's gonna be 140 damage. Then they're gonna go into the Torracat. So we did 140 damage, correct? Let's see this play through. They're gonna hit my Fido. Copycat coming out. I'm just looking at my deck, just kind of scrambling, like, oh no, oh no. So we hit for 140. We go into Big Boy. We use Puppy Loving Girl. That is only 2 more, so that's 160. So had we used Flame Patch earlier to draw 1 more, we had a roughly 20% chance to get another Mon to one-shot this guy and keep it going. But hey, is what it is. You never know, you know, what could have happened. Maybe I could have won, maybe I couldn't. But like I said, I ran it back to the second tournament where I did get first place in, and this is grand finals. I didn't get a shot to record anything else because I just didn't think I'd make it this far. I did not think I'd make it this far. My phone was dying, so I'm like, rip, bro, rip, like, whatever. I found a charger last second because I was kind of just running around. But they have a cape. They did not start with Pichu though, so this does look fairly nice for us. And we can actually abuse using Rockruff this time around. We do get the tails this time. Kind of booty, but is what it is. We don't really need it. Because right now, we have to completely just rely on Flame Patch. They don't even opt for Pichu. And this is a huge mistake from them. This bit them in the butt hard. So instead of using the small balloon up front to get a free retreat, they put the lucky egg, trying to bait me into doing something crazy. But instead of doing all that, I just draw my 2. I get E-Emperor, I get a Pokeball, use the Pokeball, Fido. I opt to just put an energy back and I just wait an extra turn. And now I'm like, okay, so now I'm able to get the first KO and I'm able to keep the ball rolling, so they should be on the decline. Like, no matter what they do here, I have all single pointers. So they're eventually gonna go down first. So watch this play out. This is nuts. Puppy Loving Girl. We get 2 off of it. Like I said, not the most complex line, but like I said as well, just knowing when to go in. We do 180 damage right there. If we lose this guy, it's going to be 160 damage. And we also do have the Rockruff for the super effective if it comes down to that as well. So we're going to do damage to him. That's going to be the first point. I'm kind of thinking what to play. I do have the Flame Patch, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to save the best for last. 100 damage, very easy for them to smack. They're going to use an electrical cord. Really nice and looks like a staple for this deck. This kind of became the meta right after Incineroar was banned. So quick little lore. But they noticed right there that I had the Rockruff in the back and they were taking super effective damage. So that was just game. So they probably will not be making that same mistake with the lucky egg up front, missing their opportunity to go in. So that's a big thing with this deck, a big thing with this deck, and just a lot of formats like this, like single pointer formats. This isn't a single point format because obviously they have the Dene, but formats where you would bring out these kind of decks, you have to really take things slow and like, can I go in now? Can I not? So that hand was massive, by the way. I did end up drawing 3 puppies. I do get the heads. This is looking like my tournament. Literally when I did that, I was like looking around. I was telling my roommate, I was like, yo, I literally just hit heads on that. This should be game. Because as long as I can get the first hit, the first KO rather, I pretty much won. So they're going to use that copycat. They're going to use that copycat to draw some more. They do have some tools like Sabrina, but it really doesn't matter all too much. They're gonna go into Pichu, get an extra energy in, but it doesn't matter to me if I have to get all 3 kills or I have to get 1 and then 2. We're still doing mega damage, 140 right off the bat, and I'm just holding this puppy girl. I'm holding this puppy loving girl because I know that the slimmer the deck is, the better it's gonna be, the better the pulls are gonna be. So they do put down all of their things. They do knock me out in one shot. That's fine. We come in, we get Flame Patch, and they kind of see what's going on. They're like, all right, I am cooked. I'm absolutely just cooked. So that's gonna be the big 120. We have that puppy girl on the loose. They saw the numbers and they're like, I could potentially live it if I had planes. So I think they do put down a planes. They do draw 2. Planes does come out. So yeah, they technically do have an opportunity. But all I need is 1 puppy. And I have the puppy girl with only, what, 5 cards left in deck? So they're cooked. They're cooked. Oh, 4 cards. Literally 4 cards. Oh my goodness. Puppy girl gets everything and they just surrender. There's nothing they can do. I think they actually let me have it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Definitely try out the puppy girl deck. It is so amazingly fun. So much damage every single turn. And they're all just little cute puppies. But yeah, peace out.